Can I get a fuck Krabs? Yo, what's up? How we doing? How we doing? Yeah, let me see the exclamation mark. FK. Let me see the commands going crazy. But what's up, guys? Hope you had a good weekend. New week, new bags, new squares, new money, new sides, new totals, new everything. So I'm pretty ready to get going here. We got a good slate of baseball today, shockingly, on a Monday. And we'll get ready to talk about it. We got Krabs coming on in a second. We got our man DeGen coming on in a second as well. So let's see. I mean, how are we doing today? Let's see in the chat. Tell me how you're doing. Tell me what you like. Tell me what the vibes are today. And damn right, how about Rasmussen? I want to talk about him. Rasmussen had an absolute Himothy performance. Absolute Himothy performance. Yeah, Cam. If we have a mod in here, you can go ahead and time out Cam for that one. Absolutely for that one. My man Sam, what's good? Mateo comments are banned from this stream, and you will be sent to the gulag if you make any comments. So we'll be seeing about that. Detroit is in shambles. I mean, yeah, they're just not very good to begin with. Mariners money line, possibly. Yeah, we got a couple things. What's up, my man Coastal? Jack Redmond, send him home. Yeah, that's a fact. It's a fact. You want only Jorge Mateo slander in the stream. Are you going to run NFL future spaces? Maybe, sometime in the next couple weeks, we'll get a little bit going. And yeah, shout out to Trent for that amazing tweet, jinxing the shit out of it. 100%. 100%. What's up? How we doing? Yeah. Never forget watching Halliday's perfect game. Yeah. It was tough. It was absolutely tough. Curbs knows what's up. Philly's a trap. I kind of agree with you. But yeah, so we got Krabs joining us here shortly. But in the meantime, we have my man DeGen here for us. I'll bring him up real quick if he's ready.
Ready to roll.
Of course, always.
Video good? Audio good?
Fantastic.
Awesome.
How we doing?
Good, man. Good. Bumpy weekend for me. I always like to look back and analyze some games, some misses. And, I know people are really quick to celebrate the wins, but I think focusing on the losses is the only way to get better. But ultimately, I feel like as Rays fans, I mean, that was almost like winning the Super Bowl with a near perfect game against America's team.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Oh, did I come in on you guys gassing up the Rays? You have Rays coming here?
Yeah, give us another minute, please.
Did I interrupt? No. What's up, DeGen? What's up,
What's
Jovan?
up, man?
How we doing?
Great.
Life is good. Happy Monday. The Rays play the Yankees today. Let's fucking go Rays. You won't find a bigger Rays fan than these three right here on the screen, guys. You will not find one. I'm debating on if I should wear my my Nats World Series jersey that I packed to the game because I'm going. I'm going with the squad. I want to wear my Nats World Series jersey and let the people know that we've got a ring more recent than them, and we are a poverty team. You think they'll like that? You think the fans will like that at the game?
I think they'll love it.
For what it's worth, I've gone to Rays games at Yankee Stadium, and they've never said a word to me.
Okay.
No heckling.
That's good.
No
Good.
heckling.
Well, in Boston, I think it'll be a different story.
Yes.
I think you probably get heckled there pretty darn good. Maybe
Yes.
people are a little nicer than I expect. All right. Well, that's good. We've got had to start the week off by pissing off the Yankees fans on video. I had to start that off. But they're melting, guys. They're folding like a Dollar Tree lawn chair. What's going on in New York? Is it just the injuries? Are their starting pitchers starting to come back to earth? Is this Christmas? Are we good? Are we safe from the Yankees winning it all this year? What do we think?
I think it's a mixture of a lot of things. I mean, yes, absolutely, the injuries are not helping them. But at the end of the day, this is Major League Baseball. Every team has to deal with injuries. Like,
Yep.
you have to figure it out at some point. I mean, the Rays have 20 guys, literally half their roster on the injured list. So figure it out, honestly. It's not helping them, though. And, yes, their starting pitchers, their expected numbers are starting to become the real numbers. So that's something completely expected down the stretch, and we're starting to see that. But, I mean, it's been starting to look down for them for quite some time, and I am enjoying it.
It's like Christmas. It really is. Well, let's talk about this game today because I need some winners from the team. I think the under is a little trappy in this game. So, oh no, Dejan. Oh God.
Well, I mean,
let me give you my spiel.
Go ahead, yeah.
Let me give you the spiel. So the Rays are coming off of almost a fucking perfect game. I mean, give me a break. Giving up no runs, right? Their bullpen's fresh, ready to go. They got the A team coming in. The Yankees are coming off getting shut out by Boston, who sucks. Waka coming back from just pitching in AAA, and they have probably the worst bullpen in baseball, maybe worse than the Nats right now. The fucking Red Sox bullpen is poverty, and the Yankees couldn't score a run off of them. We're getting Garrett Cole pitching today. Everyone fucking thinks Garrett Cole is better than DeGrom for some reason. I don't understand. And the Rays offense and the Yankees offense, they don't score many runs recently, plain and simple. Even if the Rays have been winning, they haven't been scoring. That offense doesn't really scare me that much. If they win, it's always close. It's always by one run. You guys know that. So with that, all that being said, everyone and their mother is going to be on the under today, just by recency bias. And I like the over. I think we see runs.
Timeout. I thought you were talking about the Guardians-Tigers game 1.
Ooh, okay.
I absolutely love the over in the Yankees game. But Jovan, you can talk first.
Holy smokes, thank God.
I'm with you. I said we were talking about this before the line opened. I was going to use 7 as a reference point because that's where I think the line should have opened. And if it opens under that, it's going under. If it opens over that, it's going over. And it opened at 7.5, albeit, very juice to the under. It might be seeing 7 soon, but I'm in the same boat. I think it's a trap here. Both these offenses have looked atrocious. Garrett Cole has given up 1 run in I think 20-something innings against the Rays this year. So everybody knows that he owns them. Of course, too, this is a much different Rays lineup than he's seen. It's a lot better than he's seen for at least 2 of those starts. That was kind of in the bottom of how the Rays lineup has looked all year. But, yeah, I think we're going to get some runs there. I think we're going to get, honestly, probably some runs off of the Beeks-Yarbrough combo, too. I think Yarbrough is going to go out and pitch well, but he's not going to go out there and shut him out by any means. So I think we get runs from both sides. I'm definitely in on the over.
Let's go.
I according to covers, I see it open 8, but that could be inaccurate. I see it open 8, move down to 7.5, but I'm with you, Jovan, regardless. If you have a total with the Rays offense combined with Garrett Cole, I know he got blown up at home to the Mariners, but he did at least have that next outing that I'm sure most people will remember where I think he went 7 innings in Seattle and he didn't allow a run. So I like that. And if I see a total at 8, I don't like going against line moves, but I'm absolutely loving that indicator of we're going to see some runs. It's a tough bet to stomach, and that's why I like it. I don't think anybody wants to bet on overs with a combo of the Rays offense and Garrett Cole. So that's why I like it. I completely agree. Does it scare you that we all 3 are in agreement with this?
That always scares. I mean, we could be here with the smartest people on earth, and if we all three agreed on something, I would be scared either way because that's just how my contrarian brain works. And DeGen, I'm sure you agree, but I think we're right. I think
we are too.
This is a big deal. So we're probably going to get some runs early because it's part of Trent's.
There could be a Yerf. There could be a Yerfie here. That is true.
Very possible.
I might have to bet the Yerfie just to fuck with him. I'll be honest with you. I'll be sitting right with them. I might have to take it just to fuck with them.
Yeah. I mean, with everything, I would like to see the Rays lineup before I give an accurate kind of confident lean on the game. But
so do you think I should wait to bet this until the lineups come out? Because I'm going to bet it either way.
Well, I think you should wait to bet it, period, because, I mean, it's sitting like minus 120 to the under 7.5, so you're probably going to see 7 sometime soon anyway.
I think we can get 7.
Yeah. Everyone's betting it.
Yep.
And then, Jovan, you saw a couple of your Rays guys on Prize Picks. Were you surprised to see some of those guys up for half a total base? That could be a good sign for the over as well.
I was waiting. No, not exactly. I mean, I was waiting for Yu Chang because Yu Chang, like I was saying, is probably going to hit a nuke because he's sneakily been, like Peter posted the thing, he's been a top 10 hitter by WRC Plus in the last month in the league.
He's been the Rays' best hitter, hasn't he?
Oh, by far.
Yeah.
He's been their most consistent. He looked like Barry Bonds out there, but he's legitimately been very good. And I was waiting because this happens every Garrett Cole start. We get the G-Man Troy half a total base that I'm probably going to fade. Because not just because everybody knows about it at this point, but I mean, we've been talking about it for weeks now. The guy looks absolutely atrocious at the plate. Like he looks lost up there. So, I mean, I think a lot of people are going to see his fantastic career numbers against Garrett Cole and not realize that the guy has been looking atrocious.
Noted. Okay, so we should take his under today, is what you're saying. Good.
I think as a Rays fan, I saw him up close and personal, and I mean, look, I it's not quite Eddie Lacy, but G-Man's getting sloppy. He's getting pretty heavy. He looks like Tampa loves him. Fans love him. He wasn't even playing in the game that I went to, and the whole row was cheering his name. And I think he's just getting a little complacent, and his at-bats are lazy, swinging at bad pitches. So, Jovan, I agree with you. I think if he's known for owning Garrett Cole, I absolutely agree with fading him.
Yeah, that's his thing. And we saw it. There was like a couple times earlier in the year in these starts where he's only up for this against Garrett Cole, and the entire world took it.
Took the over.
Yeah, the over.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Love that.
I think it hit 1 out of like the 3 times.
Love that.
But I mean, it kind of depends on where he's in that lineup too. Sometimes I would be a little more scared if they're batting him lead off, like they spottily have been, a couple of games here and there.
God, Kevin Cash is a freak, dude. He's a freak.
Yeah, he is.
He's a contrarian coach, is what he is.
Yeah, he is. I don't always enjoy it.
No, but sometimes he looks like a genius. Sometimes he looks like an idiot. But just like us with our bats.
That's just like us.
That's facts. Either the smartest or dumbest in the room. That's what we signed up for that. Okay, let's talk about this day game. We got a game coming up here in about an hour or 2 hours. We got Detroit, Cleveland, Hutchinson versus Savali. Do you guys have any bets in this yet? What are you guys thinking about this one?
I'll let you talk about it first, Jen, because I think you have a more confident read on it than I do.
Maybe a little bit. I don't know about super confident. I wouldn't say I love this play, but I am leaning towards the under. Here's the thing, though, and this is where I think you guys can help me out because maybe I'm wrong, but the pitchers are piss poor, right? Hutchinson and Savale.
Yep.
Their ERA, you got 4.5 and a 6. So they're not good. The total open at 8, which I thought was a little low. But then you have to remember the Tigers' offense is terrible. So I guess it makes a little bit more sense. You can't put a 9 in there with the Tigers, right? But maybe an 8.5. But with these day games, I mean, just the public in general, they love favorites and they love overs. I think people are gonna at least say, oh, they're bad pitchers. They're gonna want to lean over, but the line's going under. So move from 8. I'm seeing it 7.5 now. So I did lock that in. I would have gone Guardians or under here. I went with the under, but I also think, I know the Guardians are a much better team than the Tigers. The Tigers were cute for a while. They were cashing as I don't know if they would be trendy dogs, but the public was certainly catching on to the fact that the Tigers were coming through at a big plus price. I think that's kind of faded a little bit, but I don't think people are ready to back a 2-5 pitcher at minus 235. Whereas when I see a pitcher with a record like this at an expensive price, I think it's for a reason. So I would lean Guardians here. I honestly have no problem even going run line or first five, something like that. But I went under.
I'm with you. I mean, the Tigers have lost a bazillion games in a row. They're terrible. And I actually think Savali's good. I just think he's having a tough time at it this season. He's been injured a fuck ton. But we've seen this guy pitch lights out, and it could be gone. And I could be wrong. Maybe it was a fluke when he was good a year or two ago. But I've seen better out of Savali than he is right now. He also did just pitch against the Tigers the other day. Only went 4 innings. It was his first start in about a month. So he's come back from an injury. He's not going to pitch that long, which could honestly be good. Maybe they don't leave him out there for too long. He doesn't get absolutely destroyed like he's been getting this season. So that could be good for the under as well, DeGen. But he pitched pretty well against the Tigers a couple of days ago. And I don't love that they all just saw him on the mound 5 days ago, but
I don't either.
4 innings. So
I don't either.
what do you think about?
So my thing here with the line movement is, and I know we talked about this earlier too, it's the wind. I think that plays a massive deal in it, especially in Progressive, which is probably second to Wrigley in terms of what wind has an effect on the game. Because I think I said it was blowing like 14, 15 miles an hour in, which is a big deal. But I can't take the under here. I can't do it. This is more of a baseball brain thing. They just saw these pitchers a week ago, and the Guardians are a great left. They have a lot of power in their left-handed lineup. I know they're missing Naylor today, but Drew Hutchison struggles against lefties. So I think if you're going to play the under, I think you wait and catch it live. That's what I would do, because Drew Hutchison, 6 ERA in the first inning, and he's had 3 starts against the Guardian. They've scored every single time. So I think that's going to continue today, especially with the lefties at the top of that lineup, whether it's Quan, whether it's Jimenez, whether it's Jose Ramirez, or even Rosario, who's a righty, but he can do enough. So, yeah, I don't know if I can bet this, especially if we see it get down to 7 by game time. If it gets down to 7, honestly, I'm pretty tempted to lean the over, to be honest with you. I don't know. It's weird. Super weird.
All the money's coming on the over, and the line's moving down. But that could be because of the wind.
So the bigger bets are hitting the under. Jovan, Krabs, both of you, how do you feel about weather plays with totals? Because I like to lean into line moves. I don't blindly follow them, but if it's already something I'm leaning towards and the line moves that way, I like it. The problem is when it's for a justified reason, a team's best hitter's out. That's why the line's going the opposite way. I don't like that, because then I feel like I'm just falling in line with everybody running to the counter to get their ticket in. So I get a little concerned. And I remember, Jovan, when you mentioned that, and I was like, oh, shit, is it a little too obvious with these weather plays? Or do you find, because I haven't been following it that well, I just caught on to this, the Twitter account that puts that out. Do you think they become a little bit too much of a public narrative, or do you like it?
I mean, for me in this game, I think it is a bit, because these are also 2 struggling offenses at the moment, and they just played a week ago where all 3 of those games went under.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's keeping me off of betting that.
Damn.
I think that's very fair.
The Guardians have also won a bunch of games in a row in this series, just FYI. And the Tigers have lost a bunch of games in a row in general. I think wind matters more at specific parks. I think older parks, like Wrigley, that were built to not block any wind, it matters more there. It doesn't worry me as much in some of these newer parks. I don't think it matters. And I got to address a comment in chat too, because DeGen, you said bigger bets were coming in on the under. And then our guy Nick in chat said, well, he's seeing 46% of bets and 78% of the money on the over. Guys, it sucks, but there's no real true, accurate, precise, better number to look, because that data, the data of the bets coming in, not all of it's just public info. The books let you get bits and pieces. You could pay extra for some of these services to try to see the true number, but we never really know. And also, I never really trust that shit anyways fully, because at the end of the day, they're getting the money. They're getting those statistics from the sports books, and the sports books are here and they're open for a reason. And that's to take a coin, plain and simple. So that's kind of my mindset on that. Nick, you're probably seeing something on one site. Jen might be seeing something on another. At the end of the day, who fucking knows? But line movement is still extremely important. Anyone who says line movement or odd movement, doesn't matter. They don't know how to bet or haven't been betting long enough. But I wish there was one source that had everything. I wish there was a website that had just all of the bets everywhere collectively and told us the real handle and bet percentage. But there's not. It is what it is. Jovan, do you like any props in this game before we move on?
Yeah. I mean, it's Drew Hutchison who struggles against lefties, so I'm looking at pretty much every Guardians lefty. I tried to make the corp call for Andres Jimenez. They said they're going to look at. Oh, they put him up. Okay, so I'll take that.
What's he at?
6.5 fantasy. I'll take that for him. Steven Kwan, obviously not a terrible option either. It's just with these guys, like the wind does matter in progressive. Don't get me wrong, but these are a lot of guys who are, line drive base hit guys like Jimenez, like Kwan, even Jose Ramirez a lot of the time. So I'm cool with that. I think a lot of those lefties are fantastic looks.
Okay. That's fair. Kwan is a little too trendy and hot for me. I have a feeling we're going to be seeing a lot of Kwan props today, just in general.
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing it everywhere. I'm not going to lie to you.
You're already seeing it, yeah. Okay.
Everybody and their mother is on his overrun, which he has for both games, and we've been seeing lately when guys are out for that prop at the leadoff spot, they have not been hitting other than Tommy Pham, really.
Okay.
So wouldn't be shocked. I mean, it's probably going to hit one of those two games. Honestly, I think the Guardians' offense is in even better of a spot in that second game. So I would be unloading even more props depending on the lineup for that second game.
I'll tell you what I hope happens, and you guys probably already know. I hope the Tigers somehow fucking pull off a crazy upside game 1 so I could take the Guardians game 2.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, what am I going to take? Minus 200? I will say they've got a guy making his first career start, I'm pretty sure, here, Curry. And it's no Steph Curry. I don't know who the fuck this guy is. He's a no-picture guy. So, DeGen, you're probably all over this dude.
I love it, but I agree with you. Let's see what happens in game 1.
Let's see what happens in game 1 first, right?
Yes.
Yeah, interesting. That game, this early game, this day game stinks.
Yes.
All right, I want to talk about a couple things, and then we're going to just go over, the rest of the games. Decent amount of games for a Monday, which is cool. But I have a question for you guys because I'm very curious, and I'm still trying to figure out what I think myself. Tatis, steroids, whatever. We're not going to go into ethics and morals. Who gives a shit? But he's out for the rest of the year. Do you guys think it was worth it for the Padres trading away all their prospects, all their guys, clearing out their farm system, pretty much fucking themselves over, from a couple years down the line and then on? Do you think it was worth it for them to still make the move to get Soto, Bell, and Drury now that they're without, Tatis, the last piece they're waiting for to come back, the heart of the team, a guy that they need on their squad to win a World Series, in my opinion? Do you think it was worth it? Do you think they're kicking themselves now that they made these moves and cleared out their farm system? Do you think it's better that they made the moves and now, thank God they went out and got these guys because now they're without Tatis the rest of the year. We didn't expect that. Where are your guys' heads at with the Padres in this whole situation right now? We can start with Jovan, but what are you guys thinking?
Well, first, it was funny too. I don't know if you saw this because I was looking at a comment that said it was skin cream. There's actually a medication that's very similar to that. It sounds the same. That is actually a different one that is used for that. It's like the whole ringworm thing. Apparently, it's like they looked up a very similar sounding medicine that does that, and it's really has nothing to do with that.
So he lied and said the wrong name of the fucking medication.
Yeah. Which was funny. It was super funny. But yeah, I mean, I think it's worth it for them, if their long-term plans include, keeping some of this core, extending the core, doing whatever. Because, I mean, at this point, you can see they're not scared to spend a little money. They've already had some pretty deep extension talks with, Soto and some of the other guys. So I think if that's their long-term plan, absolutely, because they're going to be building something really great down the line. And I mean, I can't really blame them, regardless of the Tatis status or whatever, if you're building, getting the biggest trade in MLB history. So this is a core, I think, that we haven't seen before. It's a level of return that we haven't seen before. So I can't really blame them, especially in in a division where the Dodgers are going to go out and buy everybody and do the same thing. So that's where they're going to have to compete down the line. I don't blame them one bit, regardless of what you're seeing from Tatis.
To Jen?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I have to preface this by saying I don't know the sport as well as you do, but even with those moves, I mean, look, you know Soto better than maybe anybody, and I know you were heartbroken that he left. I still don't know as a Nats fan why you wouldn't trade him if he didn't want to be there. But anyways, as I think those moves were incredible because I don't know if it's just Jovan who's gotten me on this Brandon Drury train, but that move, as a Rays fan, I would have paid any price to get him. So I think that they are loaded. The problem for me with the Padres is with or without Tatis, do they have the pitching? I don't feel like they do. I don't know that I really trust these guys. And then I look at the Dodgers from top to bottom, and I feel like when the time comes in a series, a best of 7 series, I don't think they stand a chance. I could be way off.
I mean, I'm starting to think that even with Tatis, the way the Dodgers are looking right now, I still don't know if they stand a chance.
That's my point.
Holy shit. Yeah.
So I'm not really saying I don't know who there was to get for a pitcher. Castillo, I don't know if any of those guys really get him over the hump, but I don't know, man. Like you, Darvish and Musgrove, like they don't really scare me that much.
That's a good point. I think
I'm with you.
Getting Josh Bell in that return, like obviously you can say hindsight 2020 because the dude looks atrocious right now, but I don't know if it was worth making or giving that return for Josh Bell as an extra piece in that trade as opposed to going out and get a Luis Castillo or somebody like that. Especially if they're kind of trying to contend with the Dodgers and build their future. I know long term it might be a much different outlook for the team, but in the immediate future here, it might have been the smarter move in hindsight.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. But honestly, at this point, the Dodgers keep playing like this, which they probably won't. They're probably going to cool off a little bit. But I mean, I don't think anything matters that any other teams are doing if the team's hitting and playing like this. This is the Dodgers team that is playing like the greatest team ever assembled, which is what we were saying before the season. They're hitting their stride at the right time. And you know who's not hitting their stride at the right time? The New York Yankees. How about it? Had to sneak that one in there. All right, let's go over. We're going to do a little who's hot, who's not going on. It's Monday. We didn't have a show over the weekend, so let's talk about some shit going on here. And we'll run through these quick because I know we got to talk about the games, guys. I'll start it off. Who's hot? The Braves. I said it about a week or two ago. I think the Braves still have a chance to win this damn division. And it hasn't helped that the Mets haven't cooled off. And I'll be honest, I was thinking about it on my drive up here to New York. Who the fuck is going to beat DeGrom and Scherzer at the 1-2? I mean, that's scary. You might as well pack your bags up and head home because the season's over when you got to face that team in a best-of-5 series. Shit, even a best-of-7. Good luck. But I really do think the Braves still have a chance. And they are hitting their stride at the perfect time. Right now, they're doing the same shit they did last year. And they have a huge series starting tonight against the Mets at home. And we've talked about it. We know they have 7 games remaining. This is the biggest series for the Braves all year. It starts tonight. They got their guy Strider up on the mound against Carrasco on the road, which is not, ideal for them. A must-win game for them tonight, and they have to win the series. They got to make up some ground. But the Braves are hot. They're officially hot. Joey Meneses. This dude, and I know you guys hate when I talk about the Nats all the time, but I would talk about this guy if he was on any team. What he's doing right now is pretty fucking awesome. If you guys haven't heard this dude's story, was in the minor leagues for 10 years. I don't know why we just have really good success recently with calling up dudes who are career minor leaguers. It happened with Yadiel Hernandez. That dude rakes still. He's hitting 4th for us right now. We did it again. Joey Meneses was in our system for 10 years. Called him up. He's hit 5 home runs in his first 9 games. Only one player has ever done more than that, and it's fucking Trevor Story a couple years ago. So absolutely wild. This dude's mashing baseballs. Doesn't play a lick of defense, and he probably has 0 speed on MLB The Show, but I don't give a shit. He's bringing energy to DC. Thank God somebody is. And he's hitting bombs. So great story. Good for the guy who just been grinding his ass off in the minors for 10 years. Nuts. Holy shit. A little fun fact, Mets haven't lost a series to a division opponent all year. Perfect timing, sports betting, Ryan. Perfect fucking timing. I might have to bet the Braves to win the series. How about it? I'm putting that in my notes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Braves to win the series. Yankees stink. Okay, I got those notes. Good. And then last point, Matt Ariza, and I hope I'm saying his last name right, but the fucking punter on the Bills, kicking 80-yard punts. What the fuck? This dude needs to be talked about more, and I know we've seen it. If you watch NFL Network today, they were talking about it, obviously, but I'm not high on the Bills this year. Everyone is high on the Bills this year. And to Jen, I'm sure you're feeling the same. It's like people are acting like they already handed them the fucking Lombardi trophy and their rings, and Josh Allen's already had his MVP trophy delivered. Season's over. Why even play? Like, why even risk having these players get hurt this season? Let's just give them the Super Bowl and move on. That's what people are acting like. It's fucking ridiculous. This guy actually makes me scared with that take, because I think this dude at one point, at least once, is going to win the Bills a game this year. He's going to have, the Bills will be up by 1 in a really tight, low-scoring game, and they're going to get to 4th down on their own 30, and a really good opponent they're playing, the Chiefs, are going to get the fucking ball back, and everyone's going to be saying, holy shit, live line the Chiefs right now. They're about to get the rock back with 3 minutes, and this kid's about to punt 80 yards and put him inside the 5, and the Chiefs are about to lose. Like, this kid is that impactful. I don't think people understand how impactful punters are in the league. Coming from a Redskins fan, Commanders, where our best player in the last couple of years has been our punter, Tress Way. That shit matters. And this kid is about to change the game, and he's about to win a game or two for the Bills himself with a crazy punt to end the game. Just wait. Just wait. I mean, you guys saw the punt. The fucking punt returner. I've never seen a punt returner turn around completely and full sprint as fast as he can, like 20 yards, because he was set in the complete wrong position. It was unbelievable. The dude's got a golden leg. I've never seen it before. He might be a robot. We need to check this dude. Talk about a drug test. Let's give this guy the Tatis drug test, because he doesn't even make sense. So that's what I got for who's hot right now. Braves, Joey Meneses. Also, shout out C.J. Abrams for the Nats. He's coming up and making his first start today for the Nats. That's good for the program. And then our guy Matt Ariza, who can punt 100 yards. Nuts. Who's not? The Yankees. That's all I got to say. We've already talked shit about them enough. They're struggling. And Yankees fans are starting to say it too, which is music to my ears. And the Twins. The Twins stink right now too. You know who else stinks is Byron Buxton. I know he made that crazy play the other night in center field, but he can't hit the side of a barn right now. Holy smokes. Talk about one of the most inconsistent best hitters in baseball. I think you could drop the last part of that. He's very, very inconsistent, and he's hitting close to 200 at this point now. So Twins are struggling. They're in second place to the freaking Guardians. Give me a break. That division stinks. The Twins. They've completely fallen apart. I would not be shocked if they don't make the playoffs at this point. Straight up. So that's what I got.
Yeah.
Jovan, what do you got, brother?
I kept this some players. I think the guy who's ridiculously hot right now is Alex Bregman, who's been picking up the slack for that Astros offense a lot. With Jordan hasn't been hitting too great recently. A couple of guys in that lineup haven't been hitting too great recently, but they've been steaming through. The guy has I think a hit in 12 of his 13 games this month. He's hitting 400. That guy has been huge for that offense, huge for the run production there, and pretty big because they've been hanging around with a lot of winnable, or what should be winnable games. I mean, they played Oakland, they played the Rangers, they played the Guardians. He's kept them in a lot of those games and won them a lot of those games. So he's been pretty huge. But another guy who's my guy, Tommy Henry, who had a surprisingly fantastic start in Coors. I wasn't ready to buy into all of that, but he looked fantastic, especially for a guy who's sitting 90, 91 at the most. He's kind of a Ryan Yarbrough of Arizona. He doesn't have any overpowering stuff, and it's not to say he faced fantastic offenses in either of his starts, or I guess even all 3 of his starts, including the Guardians. He looks good. I think I'm slowly starting to come around to him as being a really viable option going forward. So we'll see. We'll see who he pitches against going forward and if we can back him. But he looks really, really good. So I'm excited to see that for the D-backs rotation going forward. As far as who's not, talked about this, for a while now, but the Giants. And they're coming off of a sweep against the Pirates, absolutely. But a lot of those games, they looked terrible. And they had the obvious pitching matchup. They had the obvious talent matchup in their lineup. They looked bad. And we're talking about, like we saw them even with the Padres earlier in the week, they got demolished. So that's kind of what I'm going off of. But I mean, the Pirates series, they just really didn't impress me as a whole. They looked absolutely horrendous. Kept the Pirates in a lot of those games too, which was bad. And again, obvious pitching matchup, obvious talent matchup, and they looked like they were playing a pretty even team. So I got them. And then lastly, I got the Mariners rotation as not hot, which Castillo can go out and do what he does. But I mean, Logan Gilbert is a guy who I've been trying to fade for a while. He pitches well against the Astros and really nobody else. He's gotten touched up his last couple starts, starting to come back down to earth. So I think, honestly, he's kind of the glue guy in that rotation going forward because he's kind of the mid guy where they need him to be good to overall have any sort of advantage in the rotation. He's not been good. Same thing. Like I know George Kirby hasn't been horrendous, but teams are starting to figure out guys that throw strikes like he does. I mean, he's allowing a lot more hard contact than he did initially at the start of the year. So I think that's going to start to come back down to earth. And then we also saw Marco Gonzalez, who's been the traditional, we know what we're going to get from this guy. He's going to come out and be
3 runs, 5.5.
Yeah, that's starting to get a lot worse. He's giving up 5+ on a couple starts here, especially against the Rangers, who are good against left-handed pitching, absolutely, but they're not a fantastic offense as a whole. So we've seen that. I just think that's going to be a real problem from them coming down the stretch here if they can only rely on Luis Castillo on a regular basis. So I think making a playoff push, that's fantastic news for the Rays and Orioles because I don't really trust their offense or their pitching right now because their offense is going to have to shoulder the load, and I haven't seen enough consistency from them to say that they can do that. So that's where I'm at there.
I'm with you. I mean, you called it. You said it months ago that the Giants were frauds, and you are 100% correct. 100% correct. They should have moved Carlos Rodon.
Oh yeah, they should have moved everybody. I think they should have blown it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. DeGen, what do you got, brother?
I love that you said Tommy Henry. By the way, I think
DeGen, you're right. I talked you off of that too. I feel bad, but you're right. Trust your gut. Always got trust your gut.
Never feel bad. Trust me. I trust my gut. It goes wrong plenty of times. So that's totally fine. But no, I mean, he's scary. Rookie pitcher, first time in course. But I mean, hey, that's what I need to see I feel comfortable moving forward with him down the road.
For sure.
Are the Guardians hot? Because I feel like the Guardians are hot. Okay, so
red hot.
I watched the Guardians in person when I went to the most recent Rays game. The Rays won. And I think I even said on Twitter in a video or something, but their lineup put me to sleep. I just, again, as a casual baseball fan, I didn't really know anyone outside of Jose Ramirez and Rosario. Rosario is very good. And then I look, and they keep winning games. They won the series in Tampa. And I'm looking at their schedule. They haven't lost a series since the All-Star break. They won 2 of 4 against Houston, 2 of 4 in Boston, just beat the Blue Jays, swept the Tigers, won the series against Arizona. I mean, and I started looking at their lineup. They got 5 guys that hit over 280, 290.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what I would give for the Rays to have 5 guys that could hit the ball that well.
You guys are winning the World Series.
Yeah, seriously. And then I'm looking at their pitching staff. I mean, Bieber's nothing really that special this year, is he? Tristan McKenzie.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, his what is he, 8-8? I know he's a pretty good pitcher, but nobody's even that good. So I'm just wondering, how the hell are the Guardians doing this? I mean, they got a scrappy group of guys.
They do. That's one of the best closers, if not the best closer in baseball. It doesn't get talked about at all, by the way. Emilio Clase.
Clase.
Is that his first name? Emilio?
Emmanuel.
Emmanuel? Fuck, my bad. That dude is insane. But that division sucks. But yes, Cleveland is red hot right now. They're piping hot.
So I actually wanted to ask you because I'm looking at FanDuel and I see the Guardians are basically even money to win the division. Is that a good bet? White Sox are 2-1.
Jovan will tell you there's a third team in there you just mentioned that has some serious value, and he thinks they're going to be on top of the division at the end of the year. I'm not going to speak for him. I don't know why I am right now, but go ahead.
Yeah. The only thing that would concern me about the Guardians is their schedule is tough in the next couple months.
Okay.
They're going to have games with the White Sox, which I think the White Sox are going to make a serious push for that division after this week. They have a couple series against them. They play the Padres, Mariners, Orioles, Rays. Couple series against the Mariners, actually. So it's tough. I just don't know if I like their schedule going down the stretch. But, I mean, right now they're the hottest team, the best team. I'm worried about their starting pitching, though, because they, as somebody said it in chat, they have like a 1 ERA in the last week or two. So, I mean, that with guys like Savali coming back from injury, with guys like McKenzie, who are super, super inconsistent, even though he's starting to get a little better and consistent. And Bieber is liable to get lit up every here and there. And a lot of these guys, like, I don't know if I can trust them to continue pitching as well as they have. So
fair point.
That's
very fair point.
A little bit. But I mean, they're the best team in that division right now. It's not
well.
They
pump
are.
The brakes. I'm going to pump the brakes on that. No problem there. My other who's hot, Blake Snell.
Sure.
Piping hot. Sure. I forget one of the. Is it Peter? Somebody's a big Snell stan.
Yep. It's Peter.
Okay.
Yep.
So I will say again, as a Rays fan, I thought Snell was going to be that dude, and I just never really fell in love with him. Obviously, and then the World Series performance was incredible, where he got pulled after like 80 pitches, but he was 0-5.
Kevin Cash.
Now he's don't get me started. Now he's 5-6. I'm looking at the last 5 games this guy's pitched. 3 earned runs total.
Yep.
That's incredible. Teams aren't even really hitting. 4 hits, 4, 3, 6. I mean, it is unbelievable. So, look, I mean, again, I told you when I was talking about the Padres, I can't be a believer. And also, I looked at their odds to win the World Series. 18-1, get out of here. Don't even think. It's not even worth half a unit on the Padres to win the World Series, in my opinion. That is telling. If they had a chance, they would be less than 10-1. But Snell, I mean, granted, his stats don't show it, but this guy is pitching lights out. And then my last who's hot, Kenny Pickett.
Sure.
13 for 15. I will be honest, though. I knew, whenever we talked about who's hot and who's not, and I did want to watch his highlights. I think every pass was like less than 5 yards, so it wasn't that impressive.
No.
But he's 5-1 to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think that's kind of crazy for a guy who's not even projected to be the starter of a team. So there might be Kenny Pickett. If you haven't done your fantasy football drafts yet, maybe a sleeper there, just stash for week 4, week 5.
You probably don't have to draft him, honestly, but I think number one, right. I think he should start week 1. I mean, Mitch Trubisky, I'm tired of hearing how well he's looked in camp and how he's way better than people think. I think it's a crock of shit. I've seen that dude play in a ton of football games and look like he's playing with a blindfold on, like seeing ghost type Sam Darnold. So I don't know why you don't give the Rook the Rock to start it off. Give Kenny Pickett a chance. Fuck it. It's not like they're winning the Super Bowl this year anyways. So I'm with you. I love it. And he looked great. I agree.
Yep. And I hated Matt Nagy. I'm not a Bears fan or anything, but I hated Matt Nagy. Although it is crazy, and people probably forget this, but a few years ago, I think Mitch Trubisky actually went to the Pro Bowl. And he was this year one of the most heavily bet players to win the NFL MVP.
I'm hip. Yeah, I'm hip. It's almost like it's a joke, though. Like, is that even like a joke?
No, dude, it's dead serious. It's dead serious. Okay, my who is not hot. The Milwaukee Brewers, I think, are just they're lifeless. I think they're. I thought so. They lost 6 of 7 before their series against the Rays. I say series. They played 2 games. They won both games against the Rays. And I thought from like a baseball brain, seeing Hader, who I remember reports that the team was very upset that they traded him. Felt like they were giving up. But then he went out there in his debut with the Padres and blew a 3-run lead. So then you think, oh, maybe the players, are like, oh, well, you know what? Maybe it wasn't a bad move. Maybe he just didn't have it this year. They respond with 2 wins. I bet these assholes twice in the Cardinals series. They came through the first time, went back to him again. But even in the game they won in extras, game 2, I enjoyed 0 seconds of having money invested on this team. I don't like their lineup. I thought I was going to give Willie Adames a chance, the former Ray. He's pathetic. And they just do nothing for me. So I had a ticket on them to win the World Series in the beginning of the year, I think 17-1, and I wasn't going to rip it up, but I'm going to rip it up. That's done.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying since the beginning of the season, this offense is allergic to scoring, and maybe the Brewers knew that they're fucking terrible, and that's why they moved Hader. Straight up, maybe they knew a little bit before us. I mean, their lineup is atrocious, so I'm so with you. And pitching does win championships. Pitching wins playoff games, but you got to get to the fucking playoffs first, and not have it come down to a damn wild card, if that. So I'm with you, my man. I'm with you. They're garbage. Absolute garbage. Love the takes. Bregman did something cool yesterday too. I forget what it was, but he hit a very emotional home run. I think there was like some tragic accident or something in Houston, something bad, and Bregman ended up hitting a home run in the first inning.
Yeah.
So that was a feel-good thing for Houston yesterday. So shout out Bregman coming through for the city. I like Bregman, and I don't like a lot of Houston guys. I don't like Houston in general, but I like Bregman. Bregman wasn't very cocky about the whole situation like Carlos Correa was, refusing to apologize. Carlos Correa is a piece of shit. But Alex Bregman, he fucked up. He's a good dude, though. He's a good dude. And I like him. And I like the way he plays. I like he's underdog type, really small dude, but packs a punch. And that bat, I mean, he absolutely ranks. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
And he's hot right now, like you said. Something else crazy happened right now that I want to mention briefly, and then we're going to go over these games real quick because I want to pick the Jen's brain on all these games briefly. But something happened in the college football space. I'm pulling it up as we speak here. And you guys tell me if this kid was slated to start or not. I'm pretty sure he was. I got to find it too. But here it is. LSU quarterback Miles Brennan, who I'm 99% sure was projected to start this season. He's walking away from football. This is supposed to be their starting quarterback. I'm pretty fucking sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was. And he signed deals with Raising Cane's, Smoothie King, all these companies. And he hasn't played a single game since he signed these deals. And apparently, since NIL deals can't be based on performance, this dude gets all the money still. He gets to keep it all. That's some wild shit. This is the first time we've seen something like this happen since the NIL shit started. It's only just begun. I mean, we've seen it's turned into like a minor league system for the NFL at this point. It is what it is. And players should get paid. I think they should. But I thought that was pretty wild. And Chase has a really good point in chat. He was supposed to be, but he lost his starting job, and he just said, you know what, fuck it. I'm just going to take my money and retire. Holy shit. That's nuts. And I'm sure it was not a minimal amount of money. I'm sure it was a good amount of coin. I bet it was. Yeah. That's wild.
Now, I think I have a quick note on this. I believe they got a pretty good transfer, Jaden Daniels.
Yep. They did.
From Arizona State.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I assume that's why. But I mean, the whole dynamic of the thing, like I'm pretty sure he entered his name in the portal and then talked with Brian Kelly about, essentially being in a great position to start, being a part of the program, and then comes to this because he took his name out and now he's back retiring from the sport.
Why?
Do you guys want a quick LSU take?
Sure.
Please.
Okay, I'm a diehard Notre Dame fan, but I am not one of the schmuck douchebag Notre Dame fans that, we're preseason top 10 every year. I'm not going to tell you that. I hate making the playoff. I know we're going to get killed. So just hear me out. Brian Kelly, he's an asshole, but as a college coach, he is phenomenal. He wins everywhere he goes. And I'm telling you, not right now. It's not going to be a light switch, but within the next 5 years, LSU is going to win a national championship. So what I am going to do personally, starting next year, every year, is bet 1 to 2 units on LSU winning the championship. I am telling you, man, here is what you need to know, and then we can move on. He made Ian Book the most winningest quarterback in Notre Dame history. And finally, the general public can see on a national scale that Ian Book, when he has played for the Saints, is fucking terrible. So no disrespect. The guy did what he could, but with that talent at quarterback, the lack thereof, it is amazing that he got Notre Dame to where they were. He left to get a championship. He wants a championship. That guy's fucking ruthless. He's going to do whatever it takes, and he's going to get one. So just bet accordingly.
Could not agree more. I was a Notre Dame fan growing up. My grandfather, huge fan, went there. I went to VT, so I ended up kind of not liking them and rooted for VT, obviously, because they beat us in every fucking sport, whatever.
Yes.
But I'm with you, and that dude is a good fucking coach. And he's an unbelievable recruiter, first of all. Most importantly, which in college is the most important. But what are we saying here? Rangers ML? They fired their manager.
Woodward gone.
Shut up.
Holy shit.
Gone.
System play.
System play.
System play.
Honestly, I was already kind of leaning them on that line because that's a sizable line for Glenn Otto.
Wow. Okay.
Beautiful.
Wow, I get to bet against a shitty team today. That never gets to happen. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Another point on the LSU thing. Love it. Love the idea too that you're doing, and hopefully, nothing changes crazy, and you can continue to do that and bet them every year, and they get it done for you. Jaden Daniels, this kid's legit, by the way. And if Brian Kelly is as good at developing a quarterback as you're saying he is, he's about to take this raw athletic talent, Jaden Daniels, and turn him into a fucking stud. And he's got 2 years to do it if needed. He's got 2 years of eligibility. Now, he could fucking have a great year this year and get drafted. He probably will, to be honest with you. But he's got an insanely talented young arm that he gets to run the helm, and hence why our buddy just retired from football.
Yeah. I think it's going to be good for him having Jaden Daniels. I mean, I see a lot in Jaden Daniels that we saw in Everett Golson back when who he had at Notre Dame. I think they're very similar quarterbacks.
Took him to the championship.
He was a beast.
Yeah, took him to the championship.
If a quarterback can run in Brian Kelly's offense, it's a nightmare, and he can run.
What is Everett Golson doing these days? Anybody know?
Oh God, no! I
gotta be flipping burgers.
Not with a Notre Dame degree.
He might be flipping burgers.
He's in charge of people flipping burgers. We'll say that.
Yeah.
There you go. He was a CFL guy. He went to the CFL for 1 year.
Okay.
He's definitely first team all corporate now, though. And I wish him the best. We're not wishing ill will on any guys, but that was a geek. That was a geek. That's a geek. We're all kind of Notre Dame fans. What the heck?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go over these games briefly. We're going to talk about each game 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. Okay. We already talked about that disgusting day game, Cleveland game, which I don't really have many opinions on. I'm not even going to give a bet because I have no fucking idea. I'll say number one, I trusted Jen, and he's been really nice with the totals recently, and he likes the under. Number two, hopefully Detroit wins that first game, and I know I just jinxed you. Fuck. I hope Detroit wins that first game so that I can bet the Guardians -1.5 in the second game for a lot of coin. Because you guys know the doubleheader system. You might do it anyways. There you go.
I might do it anyway.
Okay. And then Jovan likes left-handed hitter props in that Cleveland game. And also our buddy who you made the corporate call about, fucking Jimenez. You like him?
Yes,
mainly, right? Mainly. Okay.
Mainly. Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to Cincinnati. We've got a disgusting Philly versus Cincy game here. Syndergaard versus Mike Minor. We're getting a total at 9. Holy shit. That's a pretty high total if people think Syndergaard's good, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the Reds do score a lot at home, and it is home, and the Phillies offense is fucking unstoppable right now. They're scoring hell runs. What do you guys think about this game? I'm seeing all the money coming in on the over. It's not moving one bit. Maybe the total's that high just because of it's in Great American Ballpark and all this stuff I just talked about. But I'll tell you right now, I'm not laying -185 on Philly today. What the fuck do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean the total. I don't know if it's weird to me because it is Great American Ballpark, and the Phillies, they were hot, but they've scored 2 runs in 5 games or 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that, and there's the fact
true.
that Syndergaard is bad, but this is also a horrendous Reds lineup. So I mean, like, how good does he really have to be honest with you? I mean, I think I think it's probably going to hang around that number in the total. I could see Syndergaard going out and looking a little better today. I wouldn't be shocked if the Reds win, honestly, but I don't think Syndergaard's going to go up there and give up 15, like he's used to doing against better lineups. But I think, same kind of concept. I think looking at a lot of righties with power in the Phillies lineup is a fantastic idea, similar to the Guardians thing, Hoskins, great look. Realmuto, Bohm, take your pick. Honestly, a lot of them have the tools to do any sort of damage. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that.
Total,
Okay.
I'm seeing actually open 9.5, which is even crazier. My first thought, Krabs, was pretty much what you said. I can't believe Noah Syndergaard is at this price. It made me lean Phillies. Despite I see it's chalk, I see it's sharp. It's got a small move to the Phillies. But Syndergaard is 1-6 5 ERA on the road. So
It's terrible on the road.
Yeah. So that again, contrarian brain makes me lean into a little bit more. But like Jovan said, how good do you really have to beat the Reds? So
Facts.
for me, it's Phillies or nothing. It would be just one of those plays, not to get cute and contrarian just for the sake of it in this situation. But maybe a Phillies team total. That way you don't have to worry about who wins. But if you like runs in this game, yes, it did move down half a run, but that opener at 9.5 is pretty telling in my opinion. So I would be Phillies team total over or nothing for me.
Okay. Yeah, I don't hate that one bit. I won't be betting that game. Don't love anything, but I think we're all relatively on the same page.
Yep.
Okay, this is a good one that I like. San Diego, Miami. I like San Diego today. I like them on the run line today. And I know I don't usually like taking -1.5. I never take -1.5 with a total this damn low at 6.5. Holy shit. But Sandy Alcantara, I want to fade that guy the rest of his starts. Plain and simple. We're seeing, 60-ish% of the handle and bets come in on San Diego, but the line's moved over 20 cents. That's a pretty big move for not 90% of the money coming in on them. I thought that was pretty telling. Jovan, you said some of the props looked pretty sketchy for that game, and I'll let you get to that and touch on that. But I think the Padres are going to be playing a little looser going forward. They finally started to rip off some wins, and they're not playing as tight from when the new guys all came over, right? And you're still kind of buying low on the Padres because they're only 4-6 in their last 10. But that's also 4-5 out of their last 5. So you're still kind of buying low. I like the line movement for sure. I like that the odds have moved 20 cents. I think that's very important here against the best pitcher in the league, Sandy Alcantara. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in the same space. I think they get to him a little bit today. I mean, you mentioned the Prize Picks props are pretty telling. I can't remember the last time I've seen Sandy at a 2 flat earned runs allowed. It's been at 1.5 ever since I can remember, really. Since the guys
that's huge.
Really good. They got a couple of the guys like Soto and Machado are at pretty much the same fantasy scores they are against good pitchers, not great pitchers. I mean, they're sitting 7.5, I believe. So it's pretty telling on that front, but I do think they get to him a little bit today. Like you said, you're buying low on the Padres a bit. I think they could eventually get it together here. It's not like they have to do much to win this game either, because I do think we're going to see a really good performance from all the Padres pitching staff. Hopefully they don't blow it at the end. But
yeah, and let's not forget that the Marlins offense is literally allergic to scoring. They stink.
Yeah.
They stink.
They do have a Manny Machado runs an RBI up, though, which is probably 99% going under.
Okay, noted.
Same with Otani.
Noted, okay. We should take both of those, okay. You said runs and RBIs?
Yeah. They have a lot of these big-name guys up against really good pitchers, and more often than not, they don't go the way you need. They had Arenado up against Burns this weekend, and that went under.
Okay. Fair. Jen, what's your brain thinking, bro?
Exactly what you guys said. I think it's a good time to buy low. I honestly, I know it's very public, but in terms of a Prize Picks, I'd probably be. It's funny. I was just shitting on the Padres pitching staff. Then Blake Snell's my who's hot, and now I'm going to tell you I'd probably be backing Musgrove. I like the move. It's kind of one of those bad news things too with Tatis, coming out, and you got to think the teams, their mindsets. Well, we're going to do it without him. It might fire him up a little bit. If it was any other pitcher on the Marlins staff, I wouldn't think twice about betting the Padres here. But because it's Sandy, I feel comfortable in doing so.
I'm with you. Fade Sandy until we hit a bet or have nothing. I bet, and I guarantee you, and we'll see what happens, but I guarantee you, there's some late public money coming in on Miami. I guarantee you. People just seeing Sandy as a dog at home, not knowing that Miami swings with freaking toothpicks and that the prop lines are sketch. I think the fact that the Prize Picks guys, the numbers are off like that, Jovan, like you said, with the total this low, I think that's extremely telling, if not the most telling thing.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's really weird. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked to see Sandy at, at two flat earned runs against a good team. But I mean, with the total still sitting at 6.5, there's definitely a discrepancy there.
I'm with you, brother. I think Padres win this game 5-0. 5-0. We get a good, and I'm not a Musgrove guy at all, and I think he deals tonight.
Is anybody?
Padres fans, smart. They absolutely smart.
That's why I'm comfortable betting him here. Nobody fears Musgrove, so that's why I like it.
Yeah, didn't he get destroyed in his last start against the Giants too? Am I right?
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah. That's huge. With the total coming back at 7.5 again, or 6.5 again.
1 run against the Giants.
Not the Giants.
Yep.
It was the Rockies start that he got destroyed in.
At home too, not in Colorado.
Right. Yeah.
And he had a good bounce back start. So, okay. I would have liked him more if he's coming off a terrible start. That'd be even sketchier.
Yeah,
but most normal humans would say it's better to see a good start in between. Do you guys want to talk about the game 2 of Detroit-Cleveland? Do you guys have any takes on that already or no?
I don't.
Guards roll. That's it.
Guards roll game 2.
Guards roll.
Who is this Curry guy? Who is this Curry dude?
No clue.
Can't wait to find out.
No clue.
Yeah.
No clue. Doesn't have a picture, but he's minus 200.
Love it.
I mean, that's automatically lean them. So, all right, let's pray that Detroit wins game 1, and let's hammer Cleveland's game 2 minus 4.5 alt line. Okay.
Yep.
Ready to break. Let's go to DC. Josiah Gray at home, where he's the worst pitcher on earth, against Marcus Stroman. We just saw these teams play in Wrigley, and we saw Chicago. What did they do? They took 2 out of 3, 2 overs and then an under. That under was the bailout game for me, thank God. So I won't be touching this game because whatever I bet is going to lose because that's how the gambling gods work. But seeing Josiah Gray should probably be even bigger of a dog with the way he's been pitching at home and with how terrible our offense has been. But both these fucking lineups stink. Both these pitchers are guys that people know. And we're getting a total here at 8. It opened up at 8.5. Do you guys like the under here and fading Stroman and fading the Josiah Gray sucks at home narrative after we saw Josiah Gray probably had his best career start, debatably, in his last start against this same team? Or Jovan, are you more along the lines of, well, they just saw him for 7 innings. They're probably going to get to him today. I think I lean the under in this one, but I'm not betting it. It's the Nats. They suck. And also, you want to fade big news. You want to fade good news. C.J. Abrams is getting called up today. The new offensive piece for the Nats. And the unders moved from 8.5 to 8. So 2 pitchers who have good names, big names, but kind of suck in these spots here. Is the under a look? What do we think?
I just want to stay away from this game. I'm not putting my money on Josiah Gray to not be bad at home.
Game sucks.
I mean, Stroman's been pitching pretty well recently, so it's not a terrible take. I don't want to touch it with 10-foot pole. Anything in this game, really.
He actually just faced us in that series and gave up 4 earned runs through 5. Josiah pitched really good against the Cubs. So maybe the fact that the Cubs are minus 140 on the road here is kind of telling that the Cubs are going to win. And I hate to say that, but I talk about that. What do you got?
My first thought was kind of what you said in the very beginning of bringing up this game. I thought he should have been a heavier favorite, but then I saw it's because he pitched against the Nationals already. The Nationals got to him, so it made more sense. So I was leaning Nats, but now if anything, I'd probably reverse it and go Cubs. But is the under worth a look? It's worth a look, but I think it's probably, since we have enough games on this slate, I think it's better to just skip it.
Yeah, I mean, call the number if you're betting this game. These teams fucking
One that I
Let's
do
go
want to make sure
to-
that we talk about before we run out of time, just in case,
Yeah.
is Houston, Chicago.
Okay. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm in the degree that this is a pretty bad matchup for Urquidy.
Mm.
That's what I think. I mean, the line is short, absolutely. So that's what kind of initially brought me to the White Sox, and I hate backing them. But Urquidy struggles on the road, struggles against right-handed pitching, and he's going to be in Chicago facing the White Sox lineup, which is pretty much all righties. So I think just on the surface, that's a pretty bad matchup for him. The Astros coming off of a couple games here where they've honestly been pretty dependent on, a couple guys, especially Alex Bregman, to put up offense. That's what scares me about production on their side. But I think we also buy into the line buys into how well Cueto is pitching as well, which he is pitching out of his mind. He looks like Cy Young. So I kind of lean the over 8.5 here. I think that's a solid play. I think we get runs from both sides, especially Urquidy. I mean, they're still kind of buying in, I think, to the hype that he's been really, really good in his last couple starts up until he faced the Rangers last week. Mm-hmm. So I think we see regression from both these guys, and we see runs.
Don't hate it at all. Jen, do you have any opinions on that?
Yeah, I think it's certainly, in my opinion, the trap line of the day. I think the Astros against a team like the White Sox with a 11-4 pitcher at -130 looks free, right? Who wouldn't be quick to want to jump all over that? So for me, I was leaning White Sox, but I agree with Jovan. I like the total here. The only concern I have is that Urquidy is coming off of a bad start, but it was really his only bad outing in like the last 5. So it's not like we've seen a ton of regression from him. But yeah, I mean, look at the total. It's on the rise. It's not super public either. Again, according to the numbers, which you always take with a grain of salt. But I think Cueto, for being 4-5, what's his ERA? 2.9.
Weirdly good on the road and bad at home.
Okay, so there's a narrative to at least be cognizant of. But I'm seeing the over from 8 up to 8.5. The 8.5 is juice, so it's on the move. I punched it in. It was one of the first bets I punched in today. It's probably going to get to 9. I don't know if it's a weather play, but I completely agree. I'm over. It's White Sox are over, and I went with the over.
The wind is blowing to right field. I'm seeing it's not really blowing out. It's kind of blowing directly to the right. But I'm also not a meteorologist, so we'll have to see about that. Love this. Love the over in this game. I'm with you. Cueto cannot be more due for regression. I don't care, home, road, whatever. This dude's 50 years old. He's a fossil. He's been pitching too good. He should not have a 2.91 ERA. That makes no fucking sense. Houston's going to continue to roll, and they're going to score runs today. And I think the White Sox, they've won a couple in a row. Jovan, you've been first team all slurp on the White Sox too, and you've been pretty right about your take. So if you think they're coming to life, they're going to put up runs today, and maybe they end up even winning this series. Who fucking knows?
Is that a take,
Jovan?
I didn't know that.
I think
the White Sox are getting hot.
This has been my marker series for a while. I think after the series, I kind of just assumed that they were going to lose the series. But, I mean, if they put up a big performance in the series, I think their schedule lines up pretty well. I think we're going to start to see guys get healthy, and I think they're going to make a serious push for this division. Not that they have to, be really good to compete with a couple of those teams, but I think they're gonna make a serious push here.
I'm with you, and I'm always down to take an over in a Houston game because Houston is the under king this season. Houston is the under king, and that's got to come back. That's got to come back around. I more bet that way in college basketball. I think that's more important in college basketball, but it matters in baseball too. The books don't want a team to go 80% to the under because smart people take notice of that and they reap the benefits going into the end of the season, make some serious coin. So they want that to end up, as perfect we know the books, perfect world for sports books is they got 50-50 money on both sides, right? And and everything ends up 50-50 and they just take the juice. That's what they want. That's consistent. They don't got to be overexposed. So I'm cool with taking Houston overs the rest of the year and especially in this spot. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Rangers ML fire their coach, system play. Do we even have to talk about it or why we like it? It's a must bet, whether you like it or not. Just fucking bet it. They fired their coach to win today. My
philosophy, just so you guys and everybody remembers, if it doesn't hit, you don't give up. It's a sample size.
You double down.
That's what I do.
Strategy.
Martingale, exactly. Exactly.
We do not recommend Martingale, although me and DeGen both do it. We do not recommend it.
But if you did it with the
it's-
Phillies and the Blue Jays, you're
You would
sitting
be
pretty
rich.
after that. You would be
You would be
rich. Not with
rich.
the Angels. The Angels were the exception.
The Angels bit. They got me. They hit the bank account kind of hard. Somebody wanted to talk about Baltimore Toronto. I like the under in this game for the simple fact we're getting two pitchers with shitty ERAs, but two pitchers who have looked a little bit better recently. And both these teams, whenever they play, these fucking games soar over. There's not a lick of defense or pitching in this series. I need to look up. I'm gonna do it while you guys are talking, but this goes back, at least a year or so where these teams have fucking hit the overs, and every time they played. So give me the under, because I'm a freak. Plain and simple. People are going to be all over the over. Everyone's saying Bradish sucks and Kikuchi sucks, but Kikuchi's looked decent since he's come back from the IL, at least a little bit better. He could not look worse. And Bradish is okay. Okay. Toronto's bullpen's a little bit better recently. The Orioles bullpen is fine. So give me the under in this game. And we finally get an under in the series. What do you guys think?
I lean that way too. I mean, I want to find, whether it's with the Orioles, whether it's with the under, whether it's with props, I want to back Bradish in some way, some form.
Ooh.
Okay.
People are still,
Okay.
people, like you said, are still not on the train. They haven't seen him since he's come back from, the IL and the minors. It's still the same narrative that he's the worst pitcher on earth, and he's looked fantastic. Command's
He actually
there,
has.
off speed is sharp. If you look good against that Jays lineup too, until that little inning where he gave up a couple at the end of his last outing, I think he's going to be really good here, and I want to find a way to back him in some way.
Krabs, this reminds me of when you actually put this on my radar. The Orioles were playing the Red Sox, and I think you mentioned who wants the under in this matchup. The games, with both teams have just been soaring over, and I think that ended 4-3. So I think this is perfect for that. 64% of the bets on the over, but 52% of the money on the under. Under's juiced. People probably have no idea why. I like that a lot.
So the last 13 matchups between these two teams, dating back to September of 2021. I mean, these teams play a lot, right? So it doesn't go back that far, but they haven't hit an under in the last 13 games. The over is 11-0-2. And, the pushes are sketchy because who knows where those lines opened and closed, and maybe most people did get the number at a different number and it did go under for them. But I'm seeing push on this site, and I'm willing to count it if it's within, a half or whatever, the hook. 11-0-2 to the over. These pitchers stink, everyone thinks. These offenses are awesome, everyone thinks. Everyone loves betting on the Orioles, rooting for them to score. Everyone loves betting on Toronto. Everyone already handed them their fucking World Series ring before the season started. They're the most heavily bet team to win the World Series before the season. So, give me the under. This shit's ended 1-0. 1-0. Love it.
What better game to go under than with Kikuchi?
Yeah.
Cooch. And you don't have to fade the Orioles. You don't even got to worry about it because you're already taking a bet in this game. Because I know you were addicted and you don't want to have a relapse, right? No relapse here.
No relapse.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right, we got 2 minutes. Anything you guys want? Any games you wanted to talk about? Any props? Anything you wanted to talk about before we wrap this shit up?
I feel like we got to talk about the Mariners-Angels game.
Thank you. I'm so glad you said that.
That's
What do you
one of the crazier line
got?
moves I've seen in some time. From
Okay.
plus 130 to almost minus 120 now for the Mariners.
Was there any pitching? Anything? Was there a potential opportunity for anyone else to be pitching in this game, or have these guys been locked in since early yesterday?
Been locked in.
Okay. What the fuck?
Yeah.
40 cents.
50 almost.
40 cents. And it's 40, 50 cents where it's close to a pick 'em. 40, 50 cents when it's a minus 250 to minus 300 doesn't matter as much. 40 cents from plus 130 to minus 110. That's significant.
Yeah.
That's significant.
Jen, where's your head on this one?
I mean, look, I always think there's a fake sharp play of the day. In my opinion, I think it's the Mariners, and I hate that it's with Ohtani, but I think the Mariners are the better team. And Castillo, this is the whole reason I feel this way. It's not very often I'll bet on Ohtani, but I think Castillo has pitched well enough that everybody's going to take that plus price, and that's why we're seeing all this steam and all this movement. What I said is I'm going to wait for late buyback If there is a line move back towards the Angels, I am hammering them. If not, I'll probably stay off. I know you hate to hear it.
Last thing I needed to hear to close down the stream. Fuck.
I'm very sorry.
Fuck. I'm with you. I don't want to back Castillo on his new team with how low he's been pitching. I'm with you. So yeah, let's keep our eyes peeled for how this line continues to move throughout the night. We got plenty of time. Jovan, any comments on that shit, bro? I mean, that just put me my brain's in a blender. I got so excited seeing that movement, and then Jen said, that's Take Sharp.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow it, but in the same sense, I'm gonna lean the Mariners, but if there's any late buyback on the Angels, I'm gonna stay off. But if there's not, I'm going Mariners.
Yeah, I think that's totally fine.
That's where my head's at there. I think he's pitched well, absolutely, but I mean, some of the lines too in that game. I mean, Shohei's moved down to, I think, 7 strikeouts. I think down a whole strikeout on that line. Castillo has a point higher fantasy score, which I think with the strikeout thing, obviously Ohtani, I think, has the better strikeout potential, and he has a higher fantasy score than him. Interesting, just stuff to keep our eye on. I think that's too crazy of a move for me not to follow that, to be honest with you.
Fair enough.
I'm going to keep my eyes peeled on that one towards the end.
Word. Well, that was a crazy way to end the fucking stream. It is what it is. The fake sharp play of the day. Oh.
Don't let me talk you out of it. Don't let me talk you out of it.
To be honest, I didn't love it before that was even brought up. So it's not like it was my P of the D and you just broke my heart. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's okay. But yeah, no, this was electric. I fucking love having DeGen on here. This was dope. You guys get to listen to 2 contrarian brains bullshit for an hour and a half instead of 1. So I hope you liked it. And then we got Jovan to be our anchor and our rock to actually say real MLB things that are happening in real time and not just hot takes. So
he's getting more contrarian by the day, in my opinion.
I go in the middle.
Knows.
I try to keep my baseball brain in there too, but
he does a good job of that.
It's the perfect
combo. He does
combo.
a good job of that. Hey, the only thing I can ask for is that, you don't have to take all my bets. You don't got to believe what I'm saying or listen, but hopefully you at least, people who have heard me talk about contrarian shit for the last couple of years, and same to you, DeGen, I hope it just helped people understand that, the favorite doesn't always win, or whatever makes sense doesn't always fucking happen, because, this is not a bunch of robots running around doing shit. This is real human beings, and this is sports, and random shit happens all the time, every day, especially in baseball, the flukiest sport of them all. So I hope you guys have learned that. I know you guys know that. And let's have a fucking week. Let's start out Monday strong. Let's build the bankroll up today because we got a long week, gentlemen, and it's just fucking starting. All right? Let's get after it. Let's hit our bets. I will be at Yankee Stadium tonight. If you guys find me, beer's on me, unless you're wearing a Yankees jersey. So that might be I might be safe today then, if that's the case. But gentlemen, I appreciate it. Jovan, DeGen, you guys were awesome. Good luck today on the bets. Chat. Let's have a fucking day. Why not us?
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yep.